Happy Sunday to you. I'm Weather Impact Team meteorologist Chris Spears. We have a lot to talk about as we wrap up the year here and the final week of 2024. Today, relatively quiet. We still have a little bit of lingering snow in our northern mountains along the Continental Divide, but overall, we'll get a little bit of a break before the next round comes in. 2, 3, 4, 5-inch totals, pretty common at ski resorts. We did have some 6 and 7-inch totals, Eldora, Monarch, and Steamboat Springs. We may do this again, plus a little bit as this next round comes in. You're going to notice the cloud cover increasing through the day today. That is the storm system on its way in. We have a new round of watches and warnings in place Sunday night through Monday. The blue, a winter weather advisory, 5 to 10-inch totals expected. The reddish color in and around Steamboat Springs, you've been the winner so far. You will remain the winner. In a northwesterly flow, you definitely do the best, and so we may see a foot or more on some of these peaks, and that would include pass level locations such as Rabbit Ears Pass. A lot of wind expected with the next storm system. We are talking avalanche concern continuing through today and tomorrow. Many of our central and northern mountain zones at risk for avalanches, both natural and human caused. Here's Futurecast. So again, we get a little bit of a break as we go through Sunday afternoon. By tonight, though, that next round comes in and it will become more widespread overnight and into the morning hours on your Monday. Northern and central mountains will take the brunt of this. I'm zooming in to show you, focus on Denver and the urban corridor up to Fort Collins. Mostly we stay dry, but there could be a handful of brief rain or snow showers that flow off of the foothills and into the urban corridor. So just be prepared. That could happen during the overnight hours, but by far the biggest weather story for the foothills, Denver, Fort Collins, Greeley, and the northeastern plains will be the wind. We have a high wind watch in effect. 60-mile-per-hour gusts will be possible during the daylight hours on Monday, and it's dry. We have a pretty serious drought in place, especially our northern Front Range foothills and adjacent plains. Because of the wind, because of the dryness, we have the recipe for wildfire. If a wildfire or grassland fire started, it could move fast. We'll have northwest winds 30 to 45, gusts to 60, and low relative humidity, and that is your recipe for fire concern. So something we'll be watching very closely on Monday, and unfortunately Monday is the anniversary of the Marshall Fire. So we can certainly see fires in late December as what happened just a few years ago. Here are some highlights for the Weather Impact Day on Monday. The high wind, it's mainly a daytime wind event, so roughly sunrise to sunset. If we see fires, again, they could be fast moving, so definitely a concern. The other issue, most of our northeastern plains in a drought, a lot of loose soil out there, so blowing dust is a concern. In fact, the National Weather Service said, depending on how this unfolds, they may have to issue either a blowing dust advisory or a dust storm warning, which is quite rare for Colorado. So that is going to be an issue. And by air, we will have delays most certainly at the airport because of the high wind. Increasing clouds in Denver for your Sunday, 57. If those clouds hold off, we could possibly hit 60. Otherwise, just a warm day in the 50s, and that will hold true for the entire eastern half of Colorado. We'll see some mid-60s possibly down on the southeastern plains out near the Kansas state line and New Mexico state line. High country, I mean, this does not look like a late December map. We have 30s and 40s, even a few 50s. Typically this time of the year, our higher locations would see teens and 20s for high, and our lower elevations would see 30s and 40s for high temperatures. So continued above normal. Tonight, mountain snow will continue. In Denver, we're only down to about 34 with a gradual increase in that wind and some cloud cover as this next weather system rolls in. And there's your Monday. You notice the red panel on our graphic here. That is to let you know we've declared a Weather Impact Day because of the high wind event we anticipate and the threat for wildfires and blowing dust. Certainly some delays expected at the airport, and we may even have some travel issues, especially on the eastern plains with blowing dust. Colder air will also be filtering in during this wind event, and you see that for Thursday, only 38 degrees, New Year's Day 41, and right now the way it stands, it looks like as we approach the upcoming weekend, the first weekend of 2025, we'll be back close to 50 with another round of mountain snow coming into the picture. So we will keep you updated on all of our platforms here at 9 News on this Weather Impact Day coming up tomorrow.